check it. Parental discretion is advised when Chip Ritter gets candid. I'll move like a one-armed bandit. Arrange the tempo, I rock the solo. The reading the rock to the beat that Rick's playing and it's raw. It makes you want to jam. Then Bart said, wow, damn I am, and I'm strong enough to teach them. Somebody got to reach them, so Drummers Education Connection. I don't know. I'm doing the best I can, dude.
That was awesome. That was incredible, everybody. Welcome to Drummers Education Connection. That was phenomenal. I don't know if that was Bob Marley or Snoop Dogg or Tupac, but whatever it was pretty cool.
It wasn't really reggae. It wasn't big up your chest, number one drummer, prum pum pum pum.
Right on. We haven't even started and the show's gone to hell already.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, welcome to DEC Drummers Education Connection. I'm Bart Robley, and I'm here with two fantastic drummers and two great friends down in San Diego. Rick Stojak playing the big reggae beats. And
Welcome.
Chip Ritter over in Tucson doing the absolute 100% most Tupac reggae rap thing I've ever heard in my life. That was fantastic.
Beautiful.
Very, very, very cool, man. Very cool. Guys, welcome to DEC. So today, what we're going to do is we're kind of going over what, we talked about last week. I wasn't here, so we decided to do a part 2. Does image really matter? And then we're going to step it up a little bit from there even and talk about branding and the importance of branding. But as usual, what we're going to do is before we get started, we're going to do our good things. And good things is just that, good things. What's going on in our life, in music, outside of music, that is a good thing. So I'm going to start with Rick down in San Diego.
San Diego.
Yo, Fred.
Oh man, there's so many good things. My really, really great thing was Julie and I were out celebrating with our dear friends Alan and Diane, celebrating Diane's birthday. They're our really good friends, our COVID buddies, and she's a drum student. And we're celebrating her birthday out at dinner. And I text Chip, hey, Chip, could you make a video for Diane? Like one of your kind of like cameo videos. And Chip got on the kit. That within a couple hours, he had a video where he was singing happy birthday, drumming happy birthday dear Diane. He's drumming and juggling and singing this all at the same time, ends with a ha cha cha cha. And it was so great. It made her birthday. Chip, you are so talented, and so I couldn't believe that you dropped what you were doing and you made that video that fast. So you really made someone's day. Thank you. That's a great thing.
Thank you, Rick. That's cool, man. Thank you for helping me, man.
Yeah, man. What about you, Chip?
That's awesome. Yeah, Chip, what you got going on, bud?
Well, I've got a good thing. Is we're doing in preparation for the Drumathon on November 2nd. I've got a raffle, and DEC has chosen to sponsor Team Ritter in my fundraiser. And as the sponsor, not only did DEC contribute to the cause financially, all of us did. I've got Finding the Groove by Jeremy Steinkohler, autographed copy.
Best book
I've got Drum Up Your Business by Bart Robley, autographed copy.
Love it.
I've got How to Build a Drum Groove by Rick Stojak, autographed copy. And I've got Snare Force One by Chip Ritter, autographed copy. And these books are going to give away on October 31st. And that's my good thing. I'm just stoked. How about you, Bart?
That is so cool. I want to start with this before I say my good thing. I want to say, let me put this in as one of my good things. One of my good things is that I'm friends with Chip Ritter, and that the guy, man, dude, you give it your all. And this breast cancer can stick it thing is such a worthy cause. It's such an amazing thing that April does, and the fact that you go up to bat for it as hard as you do is really cool. So my good thing, starters, is that Chip Ritter's my friend, and I can call him up anytime I need some. You're a good man, Chip Ritter. And my other good thing is I'm really excited about this one. I got a new endorsement with Porter and Davies. Now, if you guys don't know what Porter and Davies is, it is a drum throne that has, it's like if you've ever used the butt kicker drummers, this is built into the drum throne. Yeah. And man, I played my first gig with it Saturday night. I fell in love with this thing when I teched for my buddy Joey. And I was like, I have to have one. He hooked me up with the company. I got the endorsement deal. I just got my throne. It was worth every penny. It's very expensive, but it's phenomenal. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos and stuff around that. I was going to do it the other night at the gig, and the stage was funky. I couldn't really get behind the drum set and do it. So, but it's really cool. I'm really, really excited about that. It's an amazing piece of gear. It really is.
Bart, tell us a little more about it. I know when you hit your kick, your chair vibrates, so you kind of feel the rhythm, right? Like more
Porters and Davies.
Second.
Yeah. So, well, basically what Porter, okay, have either one of you guys and anybody that's watching, if you want to chime in the comments or whatever, if anybody's ever used a butt kicker, have either one of you guys ever used a butt kicker?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it's a reverse transducer. It's a reverse speaker, and I won't geek out on what that is, but well, what happens is it goes, your microphone from your kick drum goes through the amplifier that come out of the amplifier and go to front of house, but it has a built-in crossover in it. And so you kind of tweak in your crossover point. I have mine at about 100 Hertz or so. And then you've got a master volume knob. You have a gain knob and a master volume knob, just like you would on a mixing console. And yeah, so when you hit it, man, it hits you in the butt. And what it does, at first you're like, well, what do you need that for? But it locks you in so incredibly tight. I mean, it's phenomenal. And I use in-ear monitors, and I'm the first to admit I am completely spoiled. Yes,
Bart, sorry for interrupting. Can you let me share my screen while you talk? Because I got Porters and Davies website up.
I think to stage. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those.
Yeah. So it's phenomenal, man. And so what it does is when you play it, you feel it. And I know this is going to sound really strange, because it sounds really weird, but all of a sudden you start hearing the music inside you. That's the only way I can put it. I mean, it's so, and I tell all of my students, I tell anybody that works with me, you have to internalize the music. You have to internalize the feel. You have to internalize the groove. And I'm not kidding you. You completely feel it within you. It's incredible. And I could literally reach over and turn down my in-ear mix, so I wasn't as loud. And yeah, it's an incredible piece of gear. It's very expensive, as you just saw.
What model did you get?
I got the Gigster.
Got it.
And
okay.
I got the wide seat. I tried all three because Joey had Joey has a bicycle seat. My buddy Jim Darby had the wide seat, and I had sat and played on a round seat at Guitar Center just to feel it. And I like the wide seat. It's just it's Rich Redmond. I texted him. I'm like, because I saw he was playing. I'm like, dude, what do you think? He goes, and he told me his wasn't super comfortable. And I'm like, oh, really? Because mine is really comfortable, but he loves his and I love mine. I texted him the other night. I'm like, dude, it's my first gig with it. I love it. He goes, yeah, that's awesome. So anyway, it's a great piece of equipment. Cool. Definitely an investment. But if any of you guys out there, are interested, go to Porters and Davies, check it out. And it's really well worth it. Yeah.
I'll put a link in the comments. And Fred Fisher said, I've used the butt kicker. Makes a big difference, especially when using in-ear monitors. You're right, Fred.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to put a quarter in it to get it to vibrate?
I had to put 3 quarters in mine, and it only lasted for like a minute. So it's expensive. By the end of the show, you've gone through a few bucks. But
yeah. I hate those ones where you hit the kick and it goes up like that.
Do you remember those little horsies when you were a little kid? Your mom would put a nickel in.
Yeah.
Oh man, those were awesome.
Dude, I want one of those. Anyway, Rick, you're going to
Okay.
give us a drum lesson. Let's do something.
Well,
do a drum lesson.
a very, very fast overview of reggae, because we've been in the reggae mood. I'm working on a chapter for my next book on reggae play-alongs, and
nice.
so I'm looking for songs that have like a steady beat, and then I transcribe the beat, and then my students and I jam to all of it, all the different variations of reggae beats, which are many, many, many. But there's 3 kind of standard reggae beats that we could talk about, and I'll just demo them really, really quick. And the first one is the 1 drop. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's no note on the 1, hence the 1 drop.
You've
so you could
dropped
count it.
one.
Yeah, you could count it also like that's with a 2-4 kind of count. You could count it just on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You know, or you could count it 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2, and so the main thing is there's not a kick snare on or kick on the 1. And
that thing you're doing on the stick, Rick, is that called a side stick or a stick clip? What's that called?
Well, I'm doing a cross stick.
Cross stick. That's
right.
What it's called.
You know, our cross stick. You know, there's a lot of names for this, man. I don't think that there's a full consensus. I've heard it called side stick, cross stick, or rim click. And you know what?
Click.
I have my I've got my Roland Octopad here, and you know what? I noticed I have a little you might hear it. I have a little shaker.
Yeah,
I'm triggering a shaker. That's what you're hearing, the shaker and the click.
Some country drummers like Rich Redmond use the wood block for that sound.
Yeah,
to get a louder one.
Right, exactly.
You can use a wood block, right? Like those jam blocks, right? There's red ones and blue ones.
Yeah, the red
And
ones.
yeah. And they are. I used to use that. They're louder, but I'm pretty anal about my side stick sound, or whatever we're calling it today. And Rick, you're right. I've heard it called all those things. I have, matter of fact, it's both the snares that are in the room right now. I have wood hoops on my drums. So wood hoops work fantastic for a side stick.
You brought that snare to Deck Day when we did the clinic in April at Aquarian, and that baby had it had.
I brought I brought the Gretsch, didn't I? Or did I bring a
You brought all kinds of stuff that day. So.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to get you off topic.
Yeah. So anyway, second one. Let's hear the second one.
And what I did too is Chip, I texted you a YouTube playlist of 1 drop songs. So
I'm gonna put that on there. I'll put that on.
I'm working on a playlist, a transcription for all of those songs. So that's the 1 drop. Count it however you want to count it. That I think is the easiest way to do it. Don't argue with people that it's just the drop is on, or the note is on 3 or 2 and 4. It's just how you count it. Let's just simplify that. So
all right.
So
let's argue.
Yeah, let's. So the 1 drop you could get that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you could get that and sound, that and you hear that like on guitar or piano, and a lot of time hi-hat accents. They call it the skank. Back, you get this back and forth, and that's called the skank. So you hear this in ska music, and you hear this in reggae music as well. So there's a lot of songs that have they're another like type of beat is called the reggae rocker, just like a rock beat, with kick on 1. Now you can have a reggae beat with kick on 1. So a lot of those beats, kind of like what we did that kind of take on Welcome to Jam Rock by Damian Marley. So you could get. So those are all rockers. You can get them real fast. Some of the real fast ska stuff works.
When you played it, when you played it slower, it had a really nice. It was very soulful.
That's
There you
still
go.
kind of fast.
I like that one best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to
I
go
know.
smoke a fatty, and I don't even smoke pot.
Hey, I want to smoke a skank.
All right, let's get
Yeah.
on to the third one. We got to
The
get on
third
to
one,
our
yeah,
show.
we'll
Let's,
the third one. Think of your one drop, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, but
Yeah.
with kicks on each beat.
So just a 4 on the floor.
Yeah, it's a 4 on the floor with general 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Dun. So there it is. That is the reggae
Awesome.
steppers. Think of it like stepping. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Chip, I sent a link to some reggae steppers beats.
All right, I
For
will
people
get
to
that
check
in the chat
out.
as soon as I can for you.
And there it is. There's a quick little overview of reggae, and I know you guys have a lot of really crazy beats. Chip, I know that you've played in a reggae band and have lots of takes on some of the
Yeah.
more calypso and world beat.
Yeah,
and
it's
some of
little.
those other cool-
There's also like the ones that we used to do was like a dance hall. That's like a doom 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 doom, and then the reggaeton was doom ba doom ba boom ba boom bop. And I
Yeah.
played those for 12 years, and you know, I gotta admit that it kind of droned on, and it's easy to like phone it in after a while. But you know, if you're really in the cut, if you really line up with the bass player, there's a vibe there that just gets infectious and hypnotic almost. That's the thing.
Well,
I
wait a
like about
second.
reggae.
We're doing a drum lesson here. Don't I see a drum set behind you, Chip? Go
You do
play
have a
one.
drum set.
Let's
You
see.
want
Go
me to
play
a
one.
drum
I want to
set?
hear. I want to
Go
hear.
play one.
I'm going to
Go
switch
play
my
one.
camera while you're doing that.
All right, man. I'll tell you what.
Let me
I'm
hear
gonna
it.
play a dance hall beat where it's 2 bass drums and then the snare.
Oh man,
So
this thing is going to groove like
the dance hall
mad.
beat goes like this. That's the dance hall.
Whew.
And then the reggaeton would be like this.
Oh man.
And you know what? I got to throw this in there, dude. Watching you do that and just being a drum geek here, you have a fantastic molar stroke. And I don't
Thanks,
even know if you
man.
know it, but like, yeah, it's so natural that you're just, that was great, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
cool.
that was a great lesson, Rick. Thank you, Rick Stojak.
You too, Chip. That was
Man.
super fun. There it is.
All
Well,
right,
I-
so
now I
brand
gotta go-
and image. The importance.
I got to
of
go
branding.
practice. Yeah, brand and image. And Rick, I didn't mean to be rude when I said we got a show to start. I'm sorry. The show's kicking ass. I just,
Oh no, we're all good.
I didn't even mean it that way. I was like, play the third one because I wanted to hear the third one.
Yeah.
So,
We
I
we're just all excited about talking about all of this stuff, Bart. I'm just so want to get your take on image. Is it important? And get your take and
Well, what do you think? Look at his shades. Duh.
I know, right,
Image.
right. And
Art is all about the image.
you
and
know
by
what?
the way, we're missing Jeremy Steinkohler today. So sorry to miss you, Jeremy. And
Yep.
your episode last week, part 1 of Image was fantastic. And so
Personally, I think image doesn't matter at all.
nice glasses.
I think image is for the birds, and anybody that it goes and goes so shallow as to just worry about image. They're just a shallow pool of a human being. No, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Oh,
You know
I
what?
can't
Look,
top that.
I think image is phenomenally important, man.
Yeah.
And man, I can go on for days about this.
Yeah.
I think image and branding is incredibly important. And I'm going to go to the big go-to right out of the gates. Okay. And I've said this a lot on deck, and that is if you look at Kiss, okay, look at the band Kiss.
Yeah.
Whether you're a Kiss fan or you're not a Kiss fan,
Yeah.
Who got it down better than that, right? I mean, it was all about the image. It was all about the show. It was about the display. You look throughout history. Look at the Beatles, right? They went from being clean cut, they thought they had long hair, but they were clean cut wearing suits and ties to the Sergeant Pepper look. It was all about image. We talked, Fred Fisher and I talked last night. Fred, thanks for watching, brother. Thank you for your input yesterday. I've got to say, Fred, really quick as a side note, man, he gave me some great insight yesterday. Fred's a great dude, salt of the earth, love him to death.
He knows how to find the pony.
He really does know how to find the pony. He was talking about how where did that come from? What the hell?
That's me and Fred's thing, man. We find the pony in all the what. We find the pony.
Find the pony. I thought it was a unicorn, but it was a pony. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, man, I think that so yeah, you've got he was saying that he went and saw LA Guns and Tom Kiefer, and he goes, man, those guys just brought it. They look like rock stars. And I've often said, I think that when you go to see a show, you want to see the show. People listen with their eyes.
Yes, that is.
Okay, people
so
listen with their eyes. Look,
that's right.
When you go to a show and there's somebody walks on stage like they just got done doing their job as a janitor, that's not a good look, right? It's just not. I think that the way you present yourself is very important. Dress for success. There's so many cliches that we can use for this. And I'm not saying that everybody is going to be Kiss. I'm not saying that everybody is going to be, let's use another one I haven't said yet, Jimi Hendrix. Looking a certain way when you walk on stage. Elton John, David Bowie, the King, Elvis Presley, right?
Yeah.
If you walk on stage wearing the same flannel shirt that you've been wearing for the last 3 weeks, and you have it, I don't know, man. I just think that you have to look the part. I think you have to look the part, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the tools in your tool chest, right? You have to look the part. I really think that that's incredibly important. What's your take?
Well, it's not just listening that, we listen with our eyes, but people choose so much just based on their view of something, like how it looks, right? Like, think about all the terrible, unhealthy food that people buy, but it's in fancy packaging, right?
Oh, totally.
Like, oh man, that must be good. Look at the artwork on that box, right? The thing is full of fat and sugar. Of course, people pick mates, sometimes completely based on how they look, not their personality, and so this can lead to unsettling things for people too. So
well, yeah, you definitely
dig deeper.
Yeah, that is a bit deeper. One of the things that, and I joke about this, but I'm serious about it too. Fred and I talked about this last night. Maybe we should have had Fred on the show today. Years ago, my hair was this color, and it was down past my
White?
Oh, dude, it was platinum blonde. It was down. My hair was past my butt, and I didn't start losing it till my hair didn't start falling out till I was in probably my mid 40s. Started thinning out. I didn't want to be the guy with the comb over. Didn't want to be that dude. So I decided just to do the stubble thing, which I do now. And then I also decided that what, I don't want to be the dude that I'm at my age and but I have this beautiful blonde hair or jet black hair. To me, that's not the look that I want. It's not. If you want to do that, that's cool. It's not the look that I want. I'm a big Max Weinberg fan. I think he's an amazing drummer, an amazing artist, and the Bruce Springsteen band has all aged so gracefully. And I think that all that stuff is important. How you present yourself on stage, how you look, how you dress. Um, I'm up at 5 in the morning every day and I head to the gym, or I'm doing yoga in my backyard, one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, as you get older, it's hard to keep the weight off. And it's not just about the image, it's also, as you get older, lifting all that stuff onto stage, getting on a stage, doing a hour and a half, 2 hour show. It takes its toll on you physically. So staying in physical shape as a drummer, I think, is very important too. We're not all Bobby Rock, we're not all bodybuilders, but I think keeping yourself in good physical health also leads to good mental health. So
Yes.
yeah.
You know, I was going to say something about this when I heard about the topic, and I knew that Bart was coming on, and we talked about, does image really matter, in the last show. If you guys aren't subscribed to our channel, go subscribe to our channel. There's a link in the comment, and you can access over 200 different episodes of Deck if you're into it. But the last episode when Jeremy was on, we talked about image and does it matter, and I guess the consensus was yes, it does matter a lot. But I wanted to throw in something that I didn't get a chance to say last time, that there's a difference between brand and image.
Correct. Yeah, totally different.
Brand is the overall identity of your company, your product, or your service. It's the overall, it's what you intend to have in the optics, right?
Right.
The image is the perception or impressions that customers get of you. It's their perception of that image. So, you know, image is what's perceived so much. Brand is what you build. If that makes any sense. I just
totally makes sense.
It does. And one of the things that it plays into, where the two come together, and I didn't want to just repeat last week's show, but Rick and I had talked, and he was like, I wanted to get your 2 cents on it. I was like, well, let's do part 2, and then we'll add branding in. And I think branding, completely. They're two different things, but I think they can go hand in hand. And as
they do go hand in hand, absolutely.
So my book, Drum Up Your Business, if you look, and I wish I should have put one on my laptop so I could pull it up. There's my logo, right?
Yes.
And it's either Bart Robley, and then it's got the .com in the end, which is my website, right?
Right.
Now, that logo is about 25 years old. That's obviously the black and white version for the print in that book, but I have it in color as well, red and yellow, and it's on everything that I do, right? It's on everything that I do, because I want people to recognize my brand, and I want people to recognize me as a brand. Okay. Mm-hmm. When it doesn't matter if it's Deck, or if it's the Sam Morrison Band, or if it's my drum lessons. This is all my business and my career. And I can't just rely, as fortunate as I am to be in the Sam Morrison Band, I can't just rely on that. I have to rely on a lot of things. So I have to brand my brand within the brand, if you will. Exactly what Chip just did. I talked about this with a client of mine this morning. I talked about Chip today with one of my coaching clients. I said, look, you see a green drum set, Chip Ritter. Everything he has his autograph on it. Chip Ritter, bright green drum set, Chip Ritter. You know, my favorite color is green. I wouldn't get a green drum set though, because everybody go, hey, you're copying Chip Ritter. I mean, Chip Ritter's drum set is green, right? And so it's very important. But and that's also, you can't tell me that his brand with the green drum set also doesn't play into his image of who he is.
Yeah, it's vibrant. I think that the choice of the color came from a combination of Mike Dorfman talking to me and about being on the Lake Havasu and seeing the neon green bikinis and the neon green, sport boats. They had these race boats. Have you ever seen the race boats with the big dragster engines in the back?
Oh yeah,
the ski boats. They had neon green boat, man, and I never forget it. How it just popped out and it was bright and neon and happy and showful, and that's my color. I love it. You know, things that remind me of that the vibe of showmanship, the vibe of, hey, it's entertainment time, you know. I love that color, and I've definitely taken a liking to the color scheme. So when it comes to the signature logo, you know, John Force Racing, he's the Elvis of dragsters.
Hell
And
yeah, he is.
I went and hung out with John Force one year when he was in Tucson in 2005. And I went and I saw 3 buses. Each bus had his signature scrawled across the entire side of it. And I'll never forget the whole logo and branding and the if you want to talk about a marketer, a PT Barnum of the drag race world, it's John Force. Because that man has a signature on products like Kiss. You know, he's the Kiss of the drag racing industry. So yeah, I understand that.
Well, now we know that your drum kit is inspired by a bikini, Chip.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, that hey, that's good. Actually, you own that look, and that's really it. It's just settling into it and like owning it where it's just really natural. I think people want to try to find your strength and your passion and then start making that your image and brand. So if you're wondering, well, what's my brand? What's my look? What am I all about? Right. It's like those big picture questions like, what's my purpose? Right. That's deep stuff. And I would say find what you're good at. Find what you're really, really into, and then start building off of that. And like what Bart has,
I like to tell
yeah, there's consistency, like what Bart has. Like his logo is we're all this way. We all have our consistency. It looks like, you know, this image looks like Bart Robley, or this looks like Chip Ritter, and it's getting consistency. So, and that consistency, I think, needs to be everywhere. You know, your website, your flyers, your social media. It should all be cohesive. And that's how you're going to make the brand, you know, fonts, things like that. Pick the font that is you. Like Bart, put your logo back up, or show your book.
Yeah. And I want to, while I'm doing that, this is an old logo. Like I said,
I was going to say real quick, guys, when I work with drum students and we talk about their goals and their ideas of what a logo would be, I always get them to just draw and to start drawing things that try to think of things that they're passionate about. Like Rick said, that things that keep you up late at night and want to make you get out of bed in the morning. Those are the types of things that'll lead you to your own brand.
Right. Exactly.
One of the things that Fred just he proposed the question, and I think that it's incredibly important to ask this question. If you're in the entertainment business in any way, shape, or form, if you're a drummer, if you're an educator, if you are in any business, not just the entertainment business, do you need a brand if you are unwilling to promote it? No, you don't. I mean, if you're not willing to promote what it is that you have, then you're wasting your time. You know, and if you've
why would you make a brand for that? Yeah.
If you've paid somebody to create a logo and you're not out there putting that logo out there for people to see every day, it's a waste of money. Don't waste your time, your resource, and your money if you're not willing to promote yourself. And I think as musicians, I think we all are, and for younger musicians watching this, you need to be, unashamed of screaming your stuff from the mountaintops, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just do. You just do.
Bart,
yeah.
Could I ask you another favor? Could you share my screen again on the
there you go
webpage? If you guys, can you see that?
Yep.
On the top left is a secondary logo I had made.
Yep.
That's my name and my act. My whole shtick is the juggling, right?
Yep.
Right.
That's what I'm known for. And so that color, neon green, is going into the drums, into the cover of my Drummer's Guide to Juggling, on my website, all over the place. So that's another example of branding. Like, it's not just the signature. You can have other things that you think that represent you and who you are as a drummer. You know, if you're a fan of butterflies, then I would put a butterfly in your symbolism, and just kind of like that could be your thing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, back to what I said a minute ago about, and this goes into branding and image. People hear with their eyes. People listen with their eyes. And I'm going to tell this story for the 10 billionth time. It's one of my favorite stories in the world. A few years ago, Sam Morrison Band, we were doing a NAMM jam. We did it every year at NAMM down the street from the convention center. It was on Saturday night at a club down the street, and that place was jumping every year. I always invited every drummer in town, all my rock star friends. I invited everybody to come down and play, and everybody was there. One night two times I invited Chip Ritter. Chip, come down and play. Chip was always there, dressed to the nines, wearing his derby, looking sharp.
Right.
He walks through the door, and dude, like, all these rock stars had played. Tons of people had gotten up there and played with the band. Chip gets up there, and he would always play the same song, and rightfully so. He'd play One Way Out by the Allman Brothers with the band. And they go into the song, the band's cooking, Chip is driving the hell out of them, just playing and sounding amazing. Well, then comes the breakdown in the middle of the song. Everybody walks away from the stage, and Chip gets his solo, and he starts juggling and brings the frickin' house down. He was the star of the show 100% of the time because he's juggling his sticks. People listen with their eyes. Not only did he play his ass off, he looked great. He did his juggling, and it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Thanks, Bart.
Yeah, and so people hear with their eyes, and that's Chip's image. That's his brand. That's his image. So it's incredibly important.
My grandmother, when I was 8 years old, and I've talked about this before, but when I was 8 years old, I was telling people I'm going to be a professional drummer. I'm going to be a professional drummer. And my mom and my dad and my brother and everybody I knew was like, that's great, but what are you really going to do? Yeah. What are you going to fall back on? Right. And I was destroyed one time crying on my little rubber pad with the nylon tip sticks sitting there in the kitchen. No life in me anymore. I was going to fail. I was doomed to fail. And my grandmother came in and she said, what's wrong? And I said, I'm going to fall. My mom says I'm going to fall back on something. I'm going to fall. I'm not going to be a drummer. And my grandmother was like, you can be a great drummer if you want to be. You're going to have to work really hard. She started going in on this speech about Gene Krupa, about Frank Sinatra, about Sammy Davis. And remember, as an entertainer, you're going to have one thing that makes you stand out. You have to have one signature move. And so I later found the juggling was my signature move. And my grandmother like prophesied it. You know what I mean? She foretold it. It was really cool.
That's so cool. I love hearing that story. It's a great story, and it just goes to show the power of words and the power of belief. Chip, if you would, I would like you to look something up on the internet. It's on Gumroad, and we're going to share that in a minute. It's my product on Gumroad called You Are Your Best Commodity. I have my latest book, Drum Up Your Business. I'll show it again. Is all about it's not about like how to play the drums, right? We all have those books. Rick has his series of books. I have 2 instructional books. Chip has them. We all have them. This book is about the music business, do's in business, but more importantly, don'ts in the music business. If you're interested in that, you can go to my website, bartrobley.com. You can order it there. I'll send you an autographed copy, or you can go to hudsonmusic.com and you can order it there. On Gumroad, I have a product out right here that was the outtakes of this book called You Are Your Best Commodity. And what it is,
there's the logo in yellow.
There it is, baby.
You've
right
got like
there it is.
8
Look at the
different
motion.
colors.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I went with those colors, I did a lot of research. The
yellow contrasts with blue, right?
Yellow contrasts with blue, and the red is an action color, and the blue is a warming color. So colors do go into it. I talked to that with one of my clients this morning. How color is very, very, very important to the psyche of people. So anyway, I think
you got a review here from Christopher E. Ritter.
Yes, you do.
Bart's on Fire.
I know him.
Great read. I'm going to have to read this again slowly.
So thank you for sharing. Thank you there. Thank you, Christopher.
You're welcome, sir. It's a great book. I highly recommend it.
It's more
Sorry.
that one's more of a workbook, and like I said, it's the outtakes from Drum Up Your Business, and it's one of those things that it's telling you how you are your own best commodity. And I think one of the things that if you've done all the work, you can play well, you have your business chops together, you have your branding together, all of those things, well, your image is the nice little bow that you wrap it all up in, how you dress on stage. And Chip, you said something about my shades, these are my specs, but literally 100% of the time, these are darkened for actually medical reasons, but the blue ones are also pair of specs. But 100% of the time when I walk on stage with sunglasses on, whether they be these or a pair of my Ray-Bans. It's part of my look. And the reason I got that, dude, I'm an Alex Van Halen freak. And I remember being a teenager and I just thought Alex Van Halen always looks so cool with those shades on.
Yep.
So I stole that. So now as I did all this in this conversation, I did it for this one very reason, something I said a minute ago and something that Fred asked. Are you willing to promote it? Well, I talked about 2 of my books, shamelessly promoting my books. And I talked about, promoting my stuff, and I'm screaming it from the mountaintops. Young musicians, you have to be able to do these things. You have to be able to do them, right?
Well, you can't sell. You shouldn't. If you're selling something you wouldn't buy, you're a criminal anyway.
Totally. Totally. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, one thing, Bart, too, I could say about you too, which is really cool, is you play in the Sam Morrison Band. It's a style. Well, how would you describe the style of Sam Morrison Band?
We have 3 shows that we do. Our original show goes along with the main part of the show, and that is that it's kind of a Southern rock thing, very Allman Brothers-ish,
right?
Very jazz influenced, very a lot of I don't want to say chops like Dave Weckl chops, but you got to be on your game. You got to understand time signatures. You got to understand feels. And then our bread and butter one is a much simpler show, but man, it takes us across the country. And that is our Bob Seger tribute show, Turn the Page. And it's Sam Morrison Band presents Turn the Page.
Right.
Tribute bands are doing great right now.
It's that classic rock, Southern rock kind of vibe. There's an age group, who are really, really into that. Of course, we're always trying to get younger people to know about all different kinds of styles of music. But I think people really, as a musician, you should really know your genre. And then within the genre, you should really know like what your band vibe fits in. And then know what your audience looks like. Because there's a look to the audience.
Yes,
there's a whole vibe and feel to that. And you just want to ideally you just kind of want to fit into that comfortably and make the audience comfortable because it just has to fit. You've got to look comfortable for them, and you have that down, and so
that's cool.
Nice glasses,
my friend
Chip.
I'm sorry.
Nice glasses.
Thanks, man. My friend Jeff Mann plays in a band called Creeper Van, and they have this punk rock. Every one of them has these jackets, the denim jackets that have sewn on band patches and spikes.
Yeah.
Spikes and the boots and they all have the look, man. And the guys that come and watch the band all have that same kind of look. They're all in that. You can kind of tell what it's going to sound like before they even kick off the first note. And it's just a really cool vibe. It's a cool gathering. So if you're a drummer and you're looking to say, what is my image? Think about, like Rick said, get with the genre that you're with and do a little research. Go out there and see some shows and kind of get a vibe on what people are wearing. Yeah, that would be a good advice.
And then there's a part of it for a drummer, like how you hit the drums. I think that's part of knowing your genre, right? Are you going to play in a punk band and be all tappy tappy tappy, right? There's a certain look and vibe to the way one should play. And sometimes people, I really think that they might audition for a band and they might have all the parts right, but it's just simply how they hit the drums, how they look. Check out some videos of Fred Fisher playing with Midline, where he's like hitting these crashes.
He's swinging hammers.
Yeah, he's like a swinging hammer thing. It's sort of a Moeller-esque thing. It's sort of like this butterfly kind of thing, and it's like, damn, look at that guy. He's so into it. It looks like Keith Moon up there, and it's just pure energy. And that's obviously Midline. I just could see the video, and I've got a vibe of what Midline sounds like without even hearing it.
Yeah.
Can we put that James Harrison comment up there, Bart?
I don't know.
James Harrison said, modern branding is your form of business cards.
Yeah.
I do still believe that your playing has to be stellar, but often people will latch onto logos and images.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No doubt.
I agree.
No doubt.
Look, all of this stuff. Look, and Patrick, thank you for the compliment. That's very, very, very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. James, you're right. And I'm going to catapult off of something you said to another point. So bear with me here. I think it goes without saying that you have to play. And one of the things that I talk about with all my students, doesn't matter if you're a player or a coaching client, there's a point where your playing is taken for granted. I know that if I've got a gig and I can't make it, I can call Rick or I can call Chip. Hey guys, are you open on this day? I need a sub. Yeah, Bart, I'll be there. The playing's going to be covered. I know that. I know that. But the other thing about it is that, they're going to show up looking sharp. They're not going to, they're going to have taken a shower within the last like 3 weeks or something.
We're not going to have a t-shirt with chili stains on it.
You might, but you'll take it off and change it before the gig. Yeah. It's going to be, they take it seriously. They really do. They take it very seriously. And so yes, the playing has to be there. That part's taken for granted. That is taken for granted. I think, again, the image and what you bring to the table there for your look is the icing on the cake or the bow on the package. And you know what, James, you said something. Modern branding is your form of a business card. Please, every young drummer out there, young student, go to Canva and design one, or go to Vistaprint and design one. Get some business cards made, even if it just says Joe the drummer and your phone number and your website. It's so much more professional at the gig. You're at a
tangible
club, just
they have it in their pocket,
right?
And when they get home at night, they undo their change, and there you are.
Right. It's not some name scribbled down on a bar napkin, Bart Robley, and you can't read the phone number. Yeah, I mean, have a business card. Have a business card. It's so old school, and it's such a professional business thing. It's so easy. Matter of fact, Vistaprint, I think they give you like 100 of them for free. You just pay for the shipping.
Yeah. One thing that I like to add to all of this, when you're looking at branding, my old manager, Jeffrey Wilson, rest in peace, used to talk about, he was a graphic design artist and he was really big on logos. He was trained by the government on how to do propaganda. And he talked about top of mind awareness and how many impressions it takes to get onto somebody's top shelf of their thought process. And, most people think that the ice is an inch thick and they have to chop through that. The ice is 2 feet thick nowadays. Yeah. And so you have to have some consistency with your branding, like Bart alluded to. It's got to be screaming from the mountaintops. It's like, you know what? Look, man, I have this website over here and you can do this with it. Don't forget to check me out. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel at Drummers Education Connection. Don't forget that, and stay on top of people's minds. So there's a difference. There's an etiquette, though. You don't want to be obnoxious. There's a difference in how you handle it. So proper tact is really good. That's a good reason to hire Bart Robley for a consultation on how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I will take that all day.
Hey, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, here we go.
Because that's what my students do. And so as an educator, I like to be sharp. I like to be able to answer these questions that some of my students ask. And so have you ever had anyone like, hey, I don't want to worry about branding because I don't want to be pigeonholed? Like, and have you ever been pigeonholed like with your image where it's like, we're not going to hire this person because of that? So what do you think?
Answer that.
Well,
I went to I can't say the drummer's name. I'm not going to. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I went to see this very famous drummer play at Club Congress in Tucson, Arizona 10 years ago. And he said something to the effect of, I would take some of those logos off your business card. It looks too busy. And then he said, and then stop juggling so much. You don't want to be known as the juggling guy. That's going to keep you from getting gigs and blah, 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 blah. And I went to my manager and I was all bummed out because here's this one guy I looked up to telling me not to do the very things I thought were going to make it happen for me and help me as my brand. And my manager, Jeff, told me, he said, dude, we're going to get you a logo card that folds out like an accordion that has Pepsi, McDonald's, Lockheed Martin. We're going to put 500 logos on the card. And he said, I want you to juggle during every song, even if they're doing a ballad. I want you juggling and everything. And guess what? I became known as the juggling drummer.
Right.
And the opposite of this guy's advice.
Yeah.
You know, and I get gigs all the time that I don't juggle at. People don't realize how many times I play with how many artists. I've not really talked about it that much, but I play with Lisa Ote and the Desert Divas. I play with Long John Hunter. I play with Mr. Boogie Woogie from the Netherlands on the piano this coming October 18th. I'm not going to be juggling the whole time during that show, but if the proper stage is set and I get a drum solo, I'm bringing the flamethrowers. You bet.
I get it, Chip. I get it. The answer then from what you're saying is have your brand, have your image, but don't force it. Know when to emphasize it. Know when to use it.
You know when to pull out the guns, and you know when to like sit there and like back up the sax player on his solo.
Yeah, totally. That's it. So don't let yourself be pigeonholed, but bring it out. And you brought up, because that's what you're good at. That's what you're natural at. So that is your passion. So you've built on that.
People sometimes overthink things. The fear of being pigeonholed, I think, is unrealistic.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking too much, you know, like what if, just let's move faster and break things. Go forward.
Yeah. One of the things that I completely agree with that. I'm Chip and I were having this conversation earlier today. My foot is always on the gas pedal and the gas pedal is always touching the floor. And I've every once in a while I'll have Chip come over to the house and put his foot on top of my foot and shove it through the floor, you know, because I need your help. You know what I mean? So don't, you know, if you're not willing to do that stuff, you're kind of, you know, it doesn't matter what business you're in, you've got to be going full speed. I've never ever been pigeonholed. I've had the only thing that I've ever been pigeonholed on, I guess, if this is a pigeonhole, is I had, you know, I've had people say, man, you've been with Sam for so long, you know, I you know, you're his drummer, you know, I wouldn't ask you to play a gig. I'm like, well, if I'm open and it's a gig down the street, of course I'll go play it. I mean, you know, if we're not working, I'm not gonna commit to like, oh yeah, I'll come play with your band and we'll go do some shows in you know, Timbuktu, and then all of a sudden I get a call from Sam, hey, we got a show that pays this much money and we got to be in Texas. Oh, well, I can't because I'm playing with, you know, Johnny and the Bag of Donuts. So I don't do a lot of that, but I'll sub and stuff like that. So I think that's important to say in the pigeonholing thing. That's the only place I've ever been pigeonholed, I think.
If I was managing a young drummer, if I was in charge of their career and they hired me for a session for Show Globe Talent Agency, a consult, and they said something about worried about pigeonholed, I say you're right on what a brand should be. A brand should be a specific pigeonhole with a neon green cover over it and a blinking sign that exactly defines the pigeonhole. You know,
Is the neon green cover look like a bikini?
exactly. More like a thong, but let's get back to the basics. The pigeonhole would be the target. You want people to remember that one thing about you. Like, have you ever read Seth Godin's book, The Purple Cow?
No.
It is a great book. I'll send you a copy, Bart. It's great. It talks about how you're driving past the farm, you see a bunch of cows, and pretty soon, there's cows, right? But if you were driving past a farm and you saw a purple one, you pretty much would stop and be like, whoa, look at that. That one stands remarkable.
Yeah.
And so a good idea when you're thinking about your brand is think about what it is about you that's remarkable and capitalize on that and try to pigeonhole that remarkableness.
Totally.
I would say.
I think that's incredible advice.
That's it.
You know, and
That's it.
I want to say, so real quick, Patrick, you said we need a deck t-shirt. We have a deck t-shirt. Go to Drummers Ed Con. Drummers Ed Con.
I'll go put a link in there for Patrick too.
Yep. And there's a t-shirt there you can buy and a coffee cup and all sorts of fun stuff. Fred Fisher, he's really touchy about this. Wear the right damn shoes. Fred's not a flip-flop guy.
Fred is not
He's
about
not
feet.
a play in your socks kind of guy.
Yeah, we talked about it last episode.
You know what?
He doesn't want
if he could do it
in your face.
If he could do it, Fred would play drums in those Gene Simmons Demon boots.
He could do
it. But if you want to know the truth, I would play the drums in those damn Gene Simmons Demon boots if I ever had the chance.
Next deck day.
I'm going.
All
you know
right,
what? Maybe
I put the link to Drummers Ed Com and the shop link is in the chat. So go hit the chat, get a coffee mug, get a t-shirt, represent.
Yeah, there you go. And you know what? I had a student say something to me one time. And Fred would have loved this. He was talking about how he had these boots that he played in, and he goes, I specifically don't play. He plays double bass. He goes, but I only play one bass drum and a double pedal because I want people to see my feet. And I was like, and I almost said, do you know Fred Fisher? I didn't, but I wanted to. All that stuff is incredibly important. And that being said, I'm going out to lunch today with my friend Dusty Watson. Dusty was Dick Dale's drummer for many years.
Yep.
He's now
surf legend.
Surf legend, man. Totally. And he's getting ready to go out on tour. We're going out to lunch because he borrowed a snare drum case from me. He plays for Nashville Pussy. Yep. And they are leaving on tour with Buck Cherry Saturday for like a 2-month run. He's like, dude, I need to borrow a snare drum case. He didn't really say it like that, but anyway, so we're going to meet for lunch. But I don't think Fred would like Dusty because Dusty played for Dick Dale, a surf legend, and he wore shorts and flip-flops on stage. And Dusty's a freaking monster, man. Have you ever heard him play?
Yeah.
I'm sure Fred would get past it.
No, Fred would be like, Dusty, get away from me. Go away. I'm going to go have
it depends on his
pizza.
toenails. If they're out of hand and funky, we don't want that.
No.
Okay, I'm going to ask Dusty today. Show me your toenails. I got to send a picture of Fred. The show's gone terribly wrong. We're at the end of the show. We went from reggae to toe fungus.
I know, man.
We're pigeonholing our brand.
We're pigeonholing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next week's episode: How to Get Rid of Toe Fungus by
next
Chip
week.
Ritter.
That's good that you bring up next week because it's the 23rd, right?
It is the 23rd.
We're going to have April Samuels on the show.
No.
Yeah.
April Samuels from breastcancercanstickit.org.
Awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool. Hey guys, go ahead, Chip.
I was going to ask you, Bart, if you could share this Drumathon screen real quick.
Oh, yeah. Send it over.
Shout out to April and the drumathon.org. If you want to know more about her and her cause, go to breastcancercanstickit.org or drumathon.org and find out what all the fuss is about.
Hey, Chip, do me a favor. and email me that picture for the artwork for next week, please.
All right, we'll do.
So everybody watching, I want to say thank you. We had a good audience today. Everybody who watches us on the back end, thank you. To Jeremy, we missed you. To Fred Fisher, you are the salt of the earth. And I have nothing bad to say about Fred Fisher, except for I'm kind of questionable on his taste in pizza. Once I taste it, and
no,
dude, see, that's what I'm saying, dude.
No.
Everybody, I said that to my wife last night. I'm like, yeah, Fred's this great dude, but and I love pickles. Like, I love him. And I'm like, but he puts pickles. There's this pizza place and has pickles on it. And everybody gives me the same thing. They're like, ooh. And so it's either going to be, ooh, or it's going to be fantastic. So I want to try it. I want to try it. I want to try it,
Yum.
Look how cool she looks. Oh, yeah. So anyway, so yes, guys, thank you so much. Please join us next week for April Samuels and her show on deck, because not only is it going to be a great interview and we're going to get to talk to her, but you know what? Her cause is amazing, and what she's doing is fantastic. And Chip, what you're doing for her is fantastic. So I wish you guys the
We're
best.
up $2,645 as of today.
Oh my God, man, that's fantastic.
I'm going to send you both of the best pictures I have for April's Drumathon, Bart.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have that specific picture, but I'll send you these.
Okay, yeah, just email them over. I'll get it on. I'll get on it this week. Okay, Chip.
And guess what, dude? On the 23rd, we're going to give away something really cool. I don't know what. Could be a head, could be a pair of sticks, but we're definitely going to have a Team Ritter raffle live on behalf of April during the episode on the 23rd. So you guys don't want to miss it. You can win cool prizes.
Actually, we're going to have two raffles on that day, because donating to Team Ritter, we are going to raffle off whatever Chip has, and we're also going to raffle off a copy of each one of my books. Drummer's Business and Logarithmic Journey.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Can I win?
You could win.
Yeah.
You're a member of Team Ritter because Deck is already entered.
All right.
You got a Rick Stojak ticket in the bucket, bro.
Oh, I do?
Oh,
yeah, you do.
Good. Is there a Bart Robley ticket in there?
Really?
Yeah, you can win your own sticks.
Perfect. I'm running low.
I win my own donation.
Is there a possibility that I could win that trick snare drum?
Theoretically, yes, but I'm probably not going to include you in the blue raffle, because you probably already could get a trick snare drum because you already play the pedals and have an in with Mike. So we want to give somebody else a chance to get the trick drum.
You're right, we do.
Plus, you're a Gretsch guy.
I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Even though I love how Bart weasels around the Gretsch thing, because snare drum is listed as an auxiliary item now.
I love that. That's smart.
I love it, man. Okay, so and that's
notice how I'm just shutting up for the first time ever. I'm not saying anything.
This is a Pearl Roadshow, and I love the Pearl Roadshow for my students. I highly recommend this drum set, and contact Sweetwater to get one of these.
Beautiful.
So there you go.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Everybody, thank you for putting up with our nonsense. We had a great time today.
Thank you, Rick.
Great time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
I'll
Fred
take you out
Fisher,
a little
James.
soca calypso.
Yep, and Chip, I'm going to call you from the car.
All right.